Let's talk about day 8. First of all, a great literary allusion. That's allusion with an A to Frankenstein. Some people think Frankenstein was the monster. It was not. That was the name of the doctor who was trying to create life. So don't be one of the people who makes that mistake. But because of her frame of mind when this doctor, not Frank, Hank, came and talked to her about prosthetics in the hospital, she was feeling very negative and hated the look of this plastic and metal thing, and so she thought of him as a sort of a Dr. Frankenstein and started calling him, in her mind at first, Hankenstein. But that's a neat literary allusion there. But really, this is about that continued shift in perspective. We're going into part 3, which is entitled Straightaway, which seems to imply that Jessica may be picking up some speed and being able to move more freely. Remember, the second part was headwind, which implied obstacles that were against her. So she's getting some new perspectives. And I think one of the ones that stands out is now she thinks positively about homework simply because it's something within her control, something she can do. I bet you haven't spent a lot of time thinking how great it is that you're able to do homework. Am I right? Just a wild guess there. And then she's thinking of the luxury it would be to be able to walk. I guarantee that none of us in the past week, month, year have thought, boy, it sure is nice to be able to walk. We take so many things for granted. She is learning to think differently about life, isn't she? And has a new perspective on something as simple as walking. But as part of her shift towards being more positive than negative, remember that ambivalence we've talked about several times, she's finally ready to think about a fake leg. She's excited about being able to walk and to get around more normally. Now that she's had to hop and scoot and crawl, even walking with a prosthesis sounds like a great idea. So, continued shift in perspective and her mental attitude. And then that scene in the office where she gets such a great contrast. I hope you caught this. So, on the one hand, you have this older man who just seems so sullen and so upset. And she's thinking, I do not want to be that person. And then she realizes in that flash at the end that Chloe, who seems perfectly normal, is also an amputee. And that jaw drop makes me think of a mic drop. You know, it's such a stunning moment where she realizes that this person who seems to kind of have it all together is an amputee just like herself. And so hopefully that will continue to spur her towards feeling like a normal person, even though she has some differences in her ability to get around and has to adapt. So we'll see what happens, but thanks for joining me, and we'll see you with the next video.